Now, today's thought of the day is actually conquering the fear of failure. And just a little while ago, when Sejalji was helping us doing the meditation, I would say my bulb on or my aha moment came when she said that I'm not defined by failure, I'm refined by it. And many a times this fear of failure, it creates such ruckus in our life. We miss the opportunity in our careers, opportunity in our relationships. We just keep on just, taking action only in the mind and even deciding that we'll not succeed, right? We, let's say we have to talk to somebody. We want to, share our thoughts with somebody, but we don't actually do it. We just share that in our mind only because we are always wondering what the other person might say, what the other person, maybe the other person might get angry. So that fear of failure does not let us, come out of our comfort zone. And let me tell you, if you really want to succeed, make yourself uncomfortable. Yes, that is only the way forward. Now, let's imagine, you know, you're standing outside a coaching institute in Kota, sweating not because of the Rajasthan heat, but because you're terrified of disappointing your parents if you don't crack J. Or imagine you're 25, holding your resignation letter, afraid to start that food truck business because what will society think if I fail? And what if you don't want to propose to your loved one and you have that thought, ki, okay, she's leaving, let me go and just pour out my heart. But just because of the fear of failure, we never say that. And we've all been there. That paralyzing moment when fear whispers, what if you're not good enough? And today I want to share a secret with you. Fear of failure is like a fog. Once you step into it, you realize it was never that thick. And yesterday only I was talking to Sejalji and we were deciding on the topic of this Saturday's webinar. And we decided, okay, the fear of failure or success we should be doing. And all of a sudden, this topic came for today's thought of the day. So it's like, for me, I would say this is the topic of the week because I'll be, you know, thinking over it, working over it. So I would say even destiny wants it. So fear is often a prediction, not a reality. Your mind is like that overly dramatic friend who turns every minor situation into a Bollywood tragedy. Arey yaar, if I fail this presentation, my career is over. Really? Is it though? Let me tell you about Ritesh, a teenager from Mumbai who was terrified of speaking English in class. He convinced himself that one mispronunciation would make him the laughing stock forever. And the reality, when he finally spoke up, the only person who remembered his accent was him. Everyone else was too busy worrying about their own fears. And here's the truth. Most of our fears are like those horror movie trailers that show all the scary parts, but never reveal that the monster is just a guy in a rubber suit. We create elaborate disaster movies in our minds, complete with slow motion scenes of our social downfall, when the actual experience is usually far less dramatic. The teenage mind especially loves catastrophizing. If I don't get into that college, my life is ruined. But ask any successful 30-year-old. And they'll tell you the biggest failures became their greatest redirections. See, many times what happens is I was in a, you can say, bad job, right? Toxic job. And one, but I don't want to leave it because of fear of security, in fact, insecurity. And one day they fired me. Now, what to do? I've already lost the job. But then, when no other option left, I gave in to my passion, started working, and maybe in a 2 years' time, I was better off. And that could have done much earlier if I would have had the courage to leave that toxic job. So, let me say, failure is not the opposite of succeeding, it's a part of learning. Every failure is a feedback, like your personal GPS recalculating the route. Even if in your, let's say, grapho business, if you make a sales pitch and the other person might not buy, it's not your failure. It's just a feedback that you did not pitch it right. So work on your template, work on your script. So remember, when you learn to ride a bicycle, you didn't call yourself a failure every time you fell. And I'm sure each one of us fell when we were learning to cycle. So you got up, adjusted, tried again. Think about it. Most successful people failed more than often than average people even tried. Amitabh Bachchan was rejected multiple times before becoming the superstar we know. His deep voice, which defines him today, was once considered his weakness. Colonel Sanders, the KFC guy, was rejected 1009 times before someone said yes to his chicken recipe. Even Shah Rukh Khan was told he didn't have the looks for the hero roles. Even Thomas Alva Edison, he failed 1000 times before actually creating that bulb. So the difference, they treated failure like a strict teacher, uncomfortable but necessary for growth. So when a student fails in class 10th, we don't say, stop studying forever. We say, let's understand what went wrong and prepare better. So your failures are not your identity, they are your education. That startup that didn't work, it taught you about the market research. That relationship that ended, it showed you what you truly value. And that exam you couldn't crack, it revealed your preparation gaps. Now, here's something powerful: action cures fear. I repeat, action cures fear. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about success, but most of the time we are thinking, we are imagining situations, we are imagining our script. But you know what's the worst part? We are imagining the other person's reaction also, which is not our thing to do. So it's better to take action, and even if we do it imperfectly. I know a girl from Bengaluru who was terrified of learning to drive. For 2 years, she took auto rickshaws everywhere, making elaborate excuses. One day, her friend simply handed her the keys and said, drive to the next signal. The 200-meter drive broke a 2 year paralysis. Not because she became an expert driver, but because she realized the fear was bigger than the actual task. To start embarrassingly small. Want to start a YouTube channel but afraid of judgment? Make one private video. Want to learn guitar but worried about looking foolish? Play one chord. Want to speak in public but terrified of forgetting your words? Practice in front of the mirror. And the magic happens when you realize that taking imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Your first attempt doesn't need to be Instagram worthy, it just needs to be. So remember, confidence is not, I know I'll succeed. Confidence is, I know I'll handle whatever happens. And you build that only through experience, not through endless planning. So let's have a morning exercise. So tomorrow morning, I want to do something simple but very powerful. Write down, what is one thing I've been avoiding due to fear? Just one. Maybe it's calling that friend you had a fight with. Maybe it's applying for the job. Maybe talking to your angry spouse. Maybe it's telling your parents about your real career dreams. And now break it into the smallest possible action you can take today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. If you want to start a business, don't plan the entire empire. Just research one competitor. If you want to learn dancing, don't just join a class. Just watch one tutorial. Then affirm, I learn, grow, and rise every time I fall. So the most beautiful flowers grow through concrete. The most brilliant diamonds form under pressure. And your failures are not roadbacks. They are the stepping stone disguised as setbacks. Fear will always whisper, what if you fail? But courage whispers back, what if you fly? So today I challenge you. Step into that fog. Take one small action towards something you have been avoiding. And because on the other side of your fear lies the life you have been dreaming of. And let me tell you, when you overcome that fear, you create a story that will be told thousands and thousands of times to others, and feeling accomplished, feeling satisfied that one day you actually took that one action and overcame that fear. And I'll be telling you, that will just change your life forever. So your future self is not built in your comfort zone. It's forged in the moments you choose courage over comfort. So I would say, go out there and beautifully, bravely fail forward, because that is the first step towards your growth, your transformation. So with that thought, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining us today.